G'day all, this is just a follow-up video on what I believe is first generation 858 board. Well, it is a first generation 858 board and a second generation 858 board. The second generation is the more popular one that you'd see in all your Grants, your Washingtons, the whole President lineup. This is a Navajo. There was a myriad of radios with the 858 board before the FCC in America spat the dummy at President at the time and told him to stop making that board because it was too easily modified for extra channels, obviously out of frequency, not type approved as they say, and also people were just tweaking them up with a bit more power, you know, an extra 5-10 watts. You know, back in the day that was a big thing. These days nobody really cares anymore, do they? Okay, so these are the main differences, and we're going to look at the Courier Centurion radio, and then we're going to have a look at a Navajo 458. That's the first radio I grabbed that's got the second generation board in it, the one that obviously more popular. So the main differences are would be visual, the way the board's set out, everything like that. We've still got the same relay, I believe that's the same crystal filter. Obviously you've got your power supply over here, your clock, so being a home base, slightly different to a mobile radio, but the main difference is this RF can, I suppose you'd call it, and under here, under this bit of foam, is the 858 chip, and I know it's an 858 chip because of this wiring diagram telling me it's an 858 chip. So this is the first generation board. The main difference is the printed circuit board, the PCB, the way the color coding on it is like a silver color with green writing, and then we'll go through and have a look at the second generation board. As you can, hopefully you can see there, yeah, around here you can see that silver color on the PCB, and then we'll just have a quick look at the underneath of the radio and just see what the main differences there are. We'll just flip this over quickly. Fairly busy under here. A lot of techs didn't like these boards because they, all this wiring and everything, no, not a big deal, but so as they redesign the boards, the electrical engineers, saving time, money, you know, it's all about the dollar. A lot of this wiring went, and on the new unit, the Uniden boards, and the 8719 chip, a lot of this wiring disappeared from underneath the board, and it was all put on top where people could easily service it. So that's the difference mainly between the 858 board and the new boards coming up, was a lot of the wiring and obviously the chip. So that's the Centurion there, as you can see, and I'll just grab a 458 quickly. Rightio. So this is a Navajo 458 radio, obviously with a 858 chip, and you can see the differences there straight away. It's mainly a board design. I'd say that there wouldn't be too much in component design that would be different. Still got the same crystal filter, the relays, transformer, everything like that. Obviously the way that the preamp was set up, but under here, and I've already taken this off so you can see it, here's the 858 chip there. Now this board is the same board as in a Washington or numerous radios from back in the day. Obviously being a mobile, it was probably it slightly differently set out, and it obviously didn't have the main power supply, but that's the main difference. The underside was the same. With these there was two different, you got to be really careful with these ribbon cables, with these contacts. They have to slide into here fairly easily. Just got to give them a little bit of a tap as such, and they push in, and he's in. You'll know that if you haven't done that properly, you won't get any channel display. So that's basically the difference. The color of the PCB went from green writing to white writing, so visually it was a lot easier to read. Obviously the board's been set out differently. yeah, probably a lot easier for technicians and that to work through their schematic drawings. I don't have a schematic handy for one of these. Handy, there's definitely one floating around somewhere. But so that was the main differences between the two boards. Performance wise, there was no difference. I've just gone through and recapped this guy. I've got a few more to do, and just give it a bit of an alignment and everything like that. But great radio, yeah, from back in the day. Okay, this is a short one. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. 73s.